This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Hey guys, this is Brandon Lorian. I'm back again today, and I'm gonna show you guys my updated Chimera illusion build this time. So before you guys see me on the channel play the branded Chimera deck, this time I'm just playing just the Chimera with the illusions. I feel like this deck has got enough power where it can kind of stand on its own without needing like the branded package anymore. So it's been performing really well at regionals and stuff like that. You know, I've seen a lot of topping, deck lists and stuff like that. So I feel like that move I think it's a good move to kind of cut the branded package out. And this deck is always going to get better because I mean there's a lot more illusion cards that are coming out and things like that. So I look forward to seeing where this deck can go. But today we're going to show off what we have going on and what we're cooking today. So we're going to start off with our Cornfield Codal. This guy is the searcher for everything that has to do with the Chimera fusion package. So he searches anything. He searches your Mirror Sword Knight, your Gazelle. And he's really good. So you discard him by searching, and then in the graveyard he has another effect. If you control Chimera, the flying mythical beast, which the fusions on field, they act as that name. You get to discard, you get to banish this card from the graveyard, negate an effect that targets your card on the field. So this card is like your targeting protection, really, really good. So we definitely have him at 3. We have the Mirror Sword Knight. Again, this card is searchable by the Cornfield Codal. So he's really good. He's integral. You summon him. He has a quick effect. Tribute himself to special summon from deck any monster that has Chimera fusion in its card text. Make sure that's correct here. Yep. And so yeah, so he's good as well. He's a level 4. He's an illusion. He has 19 attack on his own, so he's really strong as well. I like this card, but also the main guy, what you want to get out is the Gazelle. Gazelle, he's really, really strong in this variant of the deck because he's a normal summon. He searches. You can search for your Chimera fusion, or you can search for the level 5 Fiend. So yeah, this guy's versatile. He can get you one or the other. We are running the 2 Big Wing Baphomet. The Big Wing Baphomet, he's a level 5, so you don't really want to open him. You want to kind of get him out via like your other effects. But on summon, he's really good as well because he can get you 2 cards. He can get you the Chimera fusion and the Gazelle, so he gets you both, which can kind of set you up for a fusion play. So that is the monsters for the Chimera package, and we also have the 3 Chimera fusion. I've seen people cut this down to 2. I think that's incorrect. If you have this card in your hand and you, let's say you normal summon a Gazelle to search for him, if you have like another Fiend in your hand or whatever, you can kind of dodge like targeting negation, like an imperm, like an effect veiler or whatever. So that helps you. Like I feel like this card is too good not to have it. It's more pros than cons, I feel like. So that is the Chimera side of the deck here. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys the Frightfur package. We have the 3 Edge Imps. I feel like I know the ratios can kind of vary between decks, but I feel like having the 3 names is probably correct because you can fusion this guy, which is a Fiend, and Fiend is really important in the deck. Like you can go into so many cards in your extra deck if you have like a Poly, if you have a Chimera fusion. So, and then when he's sent to the graveyard as well, you get to add a Frightfur card. The Frightfur card that we're adding is the Patchwork. Patchwork is really good because Patchwork again gets you 2 cards. So you have like a lot of cards that plus you. So this card in particular says you can add an Edge Imp card, which is the Chain, because the Chain is the only card that we run for this package. And you get to search for a Polymerization as well, which is your fusion card. So you get 2 cards. That also sets you up for fusion plays. We also have the 2 polys that you run. So yeah, so this is a nice cohesive package. It searches itself. Very, very good. It adds an added consistency to the deck. And then we also have the main star of the show, the new Nightmare Apprentice. Nightmare Apprentice is insane. So you get to discard a card from your hand to special summon. That summon does not start a chain, so you are golden, so you are going to have it on field. On summon, it searches for any illusion card in your deck. So we have quite a few. We have, like I said, we have the Kodal, which can get you into like the Gazelle and stuff like that. We have the Mirror Sword Knight as well, if you want to go into that. We have the Diabels and the Master Tau as well. So you have quite a few options as well. Diabels is like insane. It's like a pseudo floodgate. Your opponent is forced to set their spell and trap cards. Is it spell? Yeah. So they have to set their spell and trap cards first. So that in itself already stops Evenly, Forbidden Droplet, Super Poly. Like those cards completely cripple this deck, and this card makes your opponent set them. And because they're all like trap cards and quick play spell cards, they can't be activated the turn that they're set anyway. So what I find myself doing sometimes is like your opponent is setting all their stuff, and when we go in like right before end phase, I go ahead and fusion into the Chimera fusion, or I use a Chimera fusion to go into the Guardian Chimera and pop like all their back rows and stuff like that. So so that's a really good combo to do. And then the Master Tau that I have here, when he's sent to the graveyard in any way, you get to special summon an illusion from your graveyard onto your field in defense position. So I normally find myself sometimes, if this is already in my graveyard, I can send this, bring this back in defense mode, and now it's a floodgate on the board and it's online. So this is a nice cohesive illusion package as well. And then we have our hand traps that we're running. So nowadays you can't run a deck without hand traps to counter the meta, unless you're playing board breakers. But this deck is just because you draw a lot, with Chimera Fusion and stuff like not Chimera Fusion, with Guardian Chimera, you search and you draw a lot. So you definitely want to draw into some hand traps to help you as well. So we run our 3 Ash Blossom Majora's Spring. This card is like the most generic needed hand trap in the game. Like you're playing a deck, you most likely have this card in your deck. It's a staple at this point. We have our two Mourners, and we have our 2 Effect Veilers. This is your targeting negations. I mean, a lot of decks are special summoning, and you want to definitely stop them from going off and stopping their key effects from going off as well. A lot of people aren't running this in the main deck, but I kind of like it. It's two Nibiru's as well. If you're going second, you kind of have this as like a backup. It's insane because like you can just wipe your opponent's board up, it passes back to you, and you can kind of go ahead and OTK because you do have that fusion guy that OTKs as well. You can Guardian Chimera pop this, pop their token or whatever. It's insane. I like this card at 2. Don't like it at 3. I don't really want to brick it. I don't want to have 2 rocks in my hand and I can't do anything with them. But 2 is fine. We have the 3 Imperm as well to go along with your targeting negations. We have 2 Mourner, 2 Effect Veiler, and 3 Impermanence. That's 7 cards that target negates. It's needed. It helps you play through what your opponent has. That is it for our trap cards, our hand trap cards. That's the hand trap lineup. And then we also have 2 non-engines that we have, and we do run the Triple Tactics Talent and the Call by the Grave. This is a god card. It stops like a droll or something like a random droll. It stops an Ash Blossom when you definitely want to get like a Gazelle Search or like a Mirror Sword Knight special summon from deck. You can Call by the Grave the Ash, and then you can continue your plays. Talents, if they do go ahead and hand trap you, you can activate this. I only really run it at 1. I don't really need this card to go off. It's just if I do happen to draw it off of the Guardian Chimera, or if I open it in my hand, if they want to hand trap me, I'm ripping their hand because I definitely want to see what's in there. And then I'm also summoning the fusion, the Chimera, the King of Mythical Beasts, and I'm ripping a card from their hand as well. So now they're down 2 cards, and it's hard for them to come back after that, after my lines have already resolved. So yeah, this is pretty good cards. Staple cards if you need cards in your deck. And these are like my 2 flex spots, honestly. Like I feel like these are pretty good flex options anyways. Like I'm not gonna change it. I was thinking about putting in Thrust, but then I would put myself over 40 cards, and I don't really want to do that. So this these 2 cards make my deck 40, so it's an even 40. I don't want to change the ratios or anything like that. What we have going on now is we have the fusions. So I do run the 2 Chimeras and the 2 Berfaments. A lot of people are just running one of this guy, but I find that in the grind game, he definitely comes up. You know, your opponent has, you know, cards in their hand, and we're in a simplified game state. You summon him at the end phase, they rip 1 card. Now they're playing with 1 card again. They drew for turn, so this card is really good. I like having him at 2. This one's at 2 as well. He's a Foolish Burial on summon. And both of them have, you know, graveyard effects. So this one, you can banish it from graveyard to special summon a beast, illusion, or a fiend from your graveyard, special summon it to the field. This one has an effect in the graveyard. You banish this, special summon a fiend, beast, or illusion from your banish zone and special summon it. So they kind of like, you can kind of almost have like a loop, you know, going on where they can kind of, you know, special summon themselves and bring each other back and stuff like that. So you're definitely not dying, you know, in the battle phase if you have these guys in rotation. We have the OTK guy, the Chimera, the Illusion Beast. This guy says he can attack up to the number of times equal to the fusion materials that was used. So he, let's say I summon, I have this on board and I have like 2 illusions. I Chimera fusion the 2 illusions with the Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. He can attack 3 times now, and he's at 31. At the end of that battle, the card that was attacked, because he's illusion, the card stays on the field, right? It's not destroyed. So he attacks into the monster. That monster is reduced to a 0 attack, and its effects are negated. That's permanent. So if, let's say, I attack into, let's see what I'm thinking. I attack into like a Mirror Jade or something like that, right? So Mirror Jade is 3000. I attack, it gets 100 in, its effects are negated, its attack is 0, and I keep attacking it for 2 more times. That's a 62 plus the 100. That's 63 damage just off of this guy by himself. So he can come in clutch. He can definitely OTK if, let's say, there's like a smaller monster on the board. Yeah, so he's really good, and he's tough to out because they can't attack over him, and he counts as Chimera on the field. So you have your Mirror Sword Knight in the graveyard, and you also have the Coin for Kodo in the graveyard. Those are protections for him. So yeah, card's really good. We have our generic fusions. We have the Draco Stapelia, we have the Magnum, and we have the two Guardian Chimeras. I love this card. It's even better now that I'm running like the Frightfur package, because if Polymerization is in your graveyard, this card cannot be targeted by card effects and stuff like that. So really good, really strong. He pops 2. Well, if you have 2 monsters on the board and you fuse with them, he can pop 2 cards on the field and draw 1, or he can do the reverse. He can pop 1 and draw 2. So it just depends on what mode you choose with that. But these cards are really good. This is a negation, and this is a pop 2. So yeah, really clutch cards. And we have our Chaos Angel. You can make this guy off of Nightmare Apprentice and this. You can make it off of this. Yeah, so essentially you try to make sure that there's no other ones I can make it with. Yeah, so if you make it off of these 2, he's getting both the effects. So both effects says if this card was used, if this card was synchro summoned using light, synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects that are activated by your opponent. So that's really good. So that means he's pretty much unaffected by monster effects. And if you use a dark monster as well, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So if you use these 2 cards to make this, he's really strong. And then on summon, he can go ahead and banish a card. This is a level 4 dark, so if you use these 2, they're both dark. He's only gonna get the destroy by battle protection, and that's it. But yeah, Chaos Angel is definitely strong in this deck. People really don't see it coming. I mean, I guess it's starting, like, the word is starting to go around that it is being played. But like when I first started playing this deck and people were like, "Oh, you can make that card in this deck," I'm like, yeah. Like, you just have to watch out that you don't get fusion locked by some of the effects. But definitely a really good powerful card to have in your deck. We also play Evil's Zor Lars, and we have the Beatrice as well. So a lot of people think that you know, this is just a fusion deck, but you do have access to other things like links, you know, synchros, xyz. This guy, what he is a he's an omni negate, but it doesn't destroy. It just negates the effect. So when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you get to banish. Sorry, you get to detach 2 monsters from this card, or just 1 material if they're reptile or dinosaurs. Then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and negate the effect until the end of this turn. So it's an omni negate essentially. And then the Beatrice is just, you know, it's a foolish bear, obviously, for twice. If you don't know what Beatrice does, she's been around for a long time. I don't know, maybe you know, a newer player coming into the game, but yes, this card is insane. You can send stuff from your deck to the graveyard. It sets up your graveyard plays, you know, what have you. So definitely good utility cards here. Then we have our XZs. We have the not XZs. We have links. We have the Mudcracker SP, and we have the Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix is just here for, you know, spot removal and stuff like that. If I can't get over like a spell or trap card or something like that, I can, you know, use this guy to, you know, get that card off the field. SP is SP. I mean, you have to have SP in the, you know, in the deck. And then we have the Mudcracker, definitely good fiend support. So that is my updated Chimera Illusion deck. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I like to respond to everybody that comments on my channel. You know, I definitely like to get like the conversation started down there. I want to talk to you guys, see what you guys think. You know, what are you guys playing? Do you guys like this deck at all? You know, let me know. Also, please like the video. It definitely spreads through YouTube and the algorithm. It definitely helps me out a lot. Use my affiliate TCG player code in the bottom here in the description. It definitely helps out the channel. I really appreciate that, guys. This is Brandalorian signing out, and remember, this is the way.